guys, welcome back to Suitcase Princess. If you are new here, my name is Shanna. We are a homeschooling family of 4 who loves to get out and we love to talk Disney. We have a little bit of a problem. Today, I just wanted to pop on and share with you the top 5 things to consider when you are trying to choose between Disneyland and Disney World. Before we go any further, guys, please scroll down, hit the big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. I just today have posted my very first Disney news, rumors, updates. I'm really excited to see how that goes over. I've been getting a lot of questions about specific needs if you had one day in the park. So I'm thinking about making that an entire series of things. Today is also my oldest's 10th birthday, which means we have been doing these crazy shenanigans for 10 years, which is really crazy. I don't know how we got to double-digit parenting, but we did. Somehow we have arrived. Now, I want to be sharing with you things like this, tips that will help you. Yeah, I'm not the traditional Disney parks sharer. I'm not, a young man who spends every day in the parks showing you that life. No, but I am a parent. We travel with kids and we want to encourage you to get out, to have more fun with your kiddos, to not be discouraged by that, to find more value in the dollars that you are spending, which actually this video today is going to share a lot of that with you, and also to do it all with a little bit less stress. So today, let's talk about the top 5 things you need to consider when choosing between Disneyland and Disney World. Now, why are we talking about this today? Guys, there have been so many breaking news updates as far as things are concerned at the Disney parks stateside. The Asian Disneys are really struggling with a new outbreak, you know what I'm talking about, but the state parks have been dropping mask mandates like crazy, dropping distancings, dropping so many of the things that have really deterred people. And today, there's supposed to be an announcement about getting past those velvet ropes and getting one-on-one up close and personal with characters again. So we are so excited about that. That means so many things to be coming back. So many things. Traditional character dining, maybe more restaurants are going to open up. Guys, it's a good time. It is a good time. It has been 2 full years of insanity, and we are here to tell you that there is actually light on the other side. There's light on the other side. Anyways, today, let's jump right into this. I am going to tell you the top 5 things that you need to consider when choosing between Disneyland and Disney World. Some people have really strong feelings about this. I think that there's a really great aspects to both parks. We've done both parks, and I'm going to tell you some things to factor in so that you can decide. How do you decide? Okay, so let's start with number 1. Number 1 and number 2 go hand in hand. They're very similar, but they're a little bit different. Number 1 is your budget. Now, dollars, because the price is different. You would think that maybe the park tickets would be the same cost, but they are not. Number 1 is going to be your budget. Figure out how much you can spend and then don't spend over that. There's no reason to go into debt for a Disney vacation. It's fun. It'll still be there later. Number 1 is your budget, right? Time is also something that needs to be factored into your budget. We are about equidistant between World and land, but if we drove to land, it's taking us a full 2 days just to get there, whereas we can kind of squeak out a day and a half going to World, which is really honestly a big difference. So you need to be factoring into your budget both your time and your money, and the last one, your energy. Does your family have the energy to sustain going to Disney World that has 4 separate parks and 2 water parks? Does your family really just kind of want to go for 2 days? And that's maybe Disneyland Resort is better for you in that respect. So keep in mind the budgeting of your money, most important, your time, which is another thing. If you're taking time off of work, things like that, how much time you have is going to be a really big indicator, maybe on which direction you should choose. And then your energy. Now, number 2 feeds right into your budget. What are you willing to invest? What is the investment here? Not everybody is crazy like I am and wants to go spend 10 days on Disney World property. Maybe I'm that way, but maybe you are that way, but your husband is not that way. So what is the honest and real investment that you're willing to spend here? Maybe you can afford $15,000 for a once-in-a-lifetime amazing Disney World vacation, but that doesn't mean that's what you're willing to invest. So how much money are you willing to invest in this? Because that's going to play a big role. And there's also massive differences in the investment required for Disneyland and Disney World. Ditto again with the time. How much time are you willing to invest? If you do only get a week's worth of vacation, do you want to spend the whole time at Disney? Are you willing to make that investment? Also, guys, we're back again, energy. Just because you can go and walk 26 miles in a day, trucking it around the Disney parks, are you willing to invest that energy on your vacation? Because a lot of people enjoy a calm vacation with relaxing things like sitting around. And I can tell you, that is not a Disney vacation, regardless of which coast you go to. So keep in mind those things, and they should help you choose between Disneyland and Disney World. So we've got budget, we've got investment. Next up is your focus. Guys, what is your focus? If you want to be able to say, if you're not a Disney person, but you know your kids are gonna wanna go, you wanna check the box that says that we went to Disney, maybe Disneyland is better for you. It's more classic, it's a lot more fun. In closer proximities, there's a lot less kind of transportation and logistics that you have to navigate to go to Disneyland. So if you're just looking to check the box, you might really consider that Disneyland is a better option than Disney World. If you have a little one who's obsessed with Marvel characters, if Marvel characters and superhero things are your focus, guess what? You need to go to Disneyland because Disney World doesn't even have them. Once you get kind of at the Mississippi, east of the Mississippi, it is Universal has the theme park rights to the Marvel characters. So depending on what your focus is, needs to be where you're focusing that energy. And if you are expecting to be able to go to Disney World and see Black Panther, guys, that's not going to happen. So you really need to take into account where your focus is to help you determine Disneyland or Disney World. They're not the same. I know that people think, oh, Disney, Disney, Disney. We have been to Disneyland, Disney World, Disney Paris, and on a Disney cruise. Every single one is different. Every single one has things that are unique. So depending on what your focus is, that can really help you determine where you're gonna invest, where you're gonna spend your budget. So keep that in mind. Number 4, something to consider, Disneyland, Disney World. What is the vibe that you're going for? Because vacations all have a different kind of vibe. Every style of vacation has a different vibe, and the Disney parks have different vibes. So if you are wanting kind of the all-inclusive exclusivity, don't have to think about anything, you should really consider Disney World, because once you make it onto property, it used to be once you made it into MCO, you could be like in the Disney bubble. We call it the Disney bubble. But now, I mean, minivans are returning, so maybe, but once you get on to property, once you are on Disney property, it is an entirely different feel. You really don't leave it for any reason, especially if you haven't driven, but even if you drive, you can go and just park your car. So Disney World is like this whole other, like full immersive experience, right? You're using Disney transportation to get around. You're staying at a Disney hotel. You're going to Disney parks. You're eating Disney food. It's all in the bubble. Whereas Disneyland, just by nature of construction, is not that way. Even in the parks, you don't feel like you're fully submerged in Disney. You're able to walk right there to downtown Disney, which gives you a dose of all the shops and things. And just right outside the perimeter, I mean, you can see all of the hotels and things that are not on Disney property. So it is a very different vibe going between Disneyland and Disney World. So depending on what you want to do, how you want to feel, what vacation vibe you want to have, it really can help you determine whether you want to do Disneyland or Disney World. Now, the last thing that can really help you decide between Disneyland or Disney World, number 5 on our list of top 5 things to consider when choosing between Disneyland and Disney World, you need to look at your family focus. You need to look at your family needs. Now, these are different from every single family. Do you have dietary restrictions? Are you a big foodie? Because I honestly thought like the snacks and things just kind of naturally existing in the world were better at Disneyland, whereas Disney World has Epcot. If you want to like zip around and get that kind of all world flavor feel or do one of the festivals, you need to head to Epcot in Disney World. Your family may have very different needs. If you have someone in a wheelchair, the Disney World transportation, while great, can make you wait a little longer if you need a specific bus to accommodate your scooter, ECV, wheelchair. Things like that can be a little bit harder at Disney World than just walking in or parking on site at Disneyland. So these are things that you really need to consider. Something else that you need to consider as far as your specific family needs: do you have a baby? Are you going to be able to walk in with a toddler if you're staying at a nearby hotel at Disneyland versus staying on site at Disney World and just using their transportation? These are things that are going to matter. Your kid's height is going to matter when you're choosing between the two parks. Of the 36 rides on Disneyland resort property, so Disney California, Disneyland, of the 36 rides, 10 of them do have height requirements, which means there's 26 rides that you can ride there. At Disney World, not counting the 2 water parks, of the 49 rides between the 4 parks, 28 of them don't have a height requirement, which means, it's not a huge difference, but that's a pretty big difference if you're really looking at the things. So take advantage of the rider swaps. Both parks have those. Take advantage of the baby care centers. Both parks have those. But depending on the kind of things that you want to see and do, it's going to determine whether or not you go to Disneyland or you go to Disney World. Your specific family focus, your specific family needs can be met very differently between the 2 parks. So it's going to be really important that you do invest the energy into the research to figure out which one of those things you need to do. Now, bonus tip. It's a lot less stress going to Disneyland than Disney World as far as planning goes. So if you don't have the capacity, the energy, if you're just looking to check the box, guys, Disneyland is probably the one for you. Something else that Disney World has that Disneyland does not offer is Disney World has 2 water parks, Typhoon Lagoon and Blizzard Beach. They also have 2 mini golf areas. So there just really is an entirely different experience from Disney World to Disneyland. Guys, I hope that you found this helpful, entertaining, or informative. If you did, please scroll down, hit that big red subscribe button, let YouTube know that you find this content valuable. It helps me out a great deal. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, write on down to the comments or over on Instagram at Suitcase Princess. Again, guys, these are the top 5 things that really can help you determine whether you're going to Disneyland or Disney World. Number 1, budget. Number 2, investment. Number 3, what's your focus? Number 4, what's the vibe you're going for? And number 5, what are your specific family needs and how can they best be met at which park? Guys, I'm really excited about sharing more and more of this kind of Disney knowledge content. I will be back again soon. Don't forget, we post 2 videos a week here, one not so Disney related and one specifically Disney related. So be sure to subscribe so that you can be the first to know about those. Be sure to head on over to Instagram and follow us so you know when we've got new things dropping. New news is out. I'm sharing it there as frequently as I can. So be sure to be following us and hit the subscribe button. Turn on that bell for notifications. Thanks again, guys.